and I'd love to hear where you're coming from and what's the weather there, because I find it so fascinating. But, you know, I'm here, it's pouring, it's kind of cold, and then you guys are off in like beautiful sunny Texas. So in the chat, just write your name, where you're coming in from, New York, Florida, you know, all that. And of course, it's perfect in California. You know, I'm very curious about this. How long have you been in quarantine? I believe I'm going on let me think, Wednesday will be day 21. So we're going on weeks now. I was counting days, now we're counting weeks. So almost 3 weeks. Yes, I totally remember you. Hi, day 6. And you're still going to work? Oh my goodness, what do you do? I love to say this, oh, you're considered essential? I always wondered what it would feel like to be told you're non-essential. Long Island, hi Annie. This is exciting. Dorica, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I recognize your name though from the group, and Melissa's here. That is awesome. So we're going to be getting started in 2 minutes. I'd love for you to share this with your friends, invite them on. Let's get them on. If they're going to be watching the Facebook Live, as this will be live, as we actually just went live now, which is super exciting. You can share this to your own wall and into any groups that you're in that you have people who might be interested in hearing a little bit about how to get through this time without gaining, you know, what we call the COVID-15. But it would be great if they were on here specifically, because then they can use the Q&A part and the chat so they can be more interactive. So that would be awesome. But of course, you can always watch the replay later. Hey, Marcia, Texas, how's it going over there? How many days of quarantine have you finished so far? And Annie worked last Friday and then we were done. Yes. Well, I'm hoping that this gets cleared up pretty quickly, but it doesn't seem to be going in that direction just yet. But all right, we are a minute out. I'm excited for all of you that are on so far and can't wait for the rest of you that join, but we will be getting started soon. So just let your friends know, tag them, send them the link to quickly register and get onto the webinar. And of course, you know, as you have questions, use the Q&A box, put them in there. If they're very, very specific to you, we might skip over them, but if they're pretty broad and can help a lot of people, I will be happy to stay on and answer all your questions. So we are really excited to get started. And you think you're on day 5 officially. Okay. Well, I will tell you, closing in on day 21 midweek, that it basically stays the same. I mean, I've been joking around that I think I have Stockholm syndrome, and it's been pretty cool, like kind of getting into some sort of rhythm and of a schedule. But all right, cool. So we're going to get started now. I am really excited to be talking to you about this topic. As you know, it is impacting a lot of people because a lot of us are home. And even if we aren't home and are essential workers that have to go to work, there's a lot of emotion, there's a lot of turmoil, there's a lot of just triggers for people. And a lot of us have been taught to turn to food, and we're definitely going to be covering that and talking about that. But first, I just want to say thank you to Jake and Jacob of The Power Entrepreneur for inviting me on, for trusting me with this topic, and you know, being able to present this to you today. You can find them on thepowerentrepreneur.com, and they will be doing something like this pretty much daily, where you can be learning about different topics, educating yourselves while we're kind of having a lot more free time than we anticipated during this time. And they're going to be doing that for you guys for free, just to help you work through this time, learn new things, be exposed to new things, and that way we can really come out of this very stressful time that much better. But I do want to pause and tell you a little bit about me real quick, because our story is very important and where we come from is really impactful, right? Because who we are right now was all designed by and shaped by where we come from and where we started. So I'd love for you to take a moment to think about, you know, what is your story? What has led you to who you are today? Well, I will tell you this. My name is Rae. I am a certified health coach. I am a mother of 3, and I run my practice in New York with my husband. I lost 60 pounds in 2016 and he lost 100. I was the head of finance in a federally qualified health center, and he was a surgical technologist in a very busy operating room. This was not something that you would have ever thought we would be speaking about or leading people in. But once we got healthy we really determined that this was something that a lot of people needed and something that we wanted to devote our lives to. And we are closing in on almost 18,000 lives impacted with our health coaching practice. So we are very proud of that. And we, plan to continue and help a lot more people. But like I said, I am honored to be speaking to you today, and I really hope that what I say today brings some value that will help you get through these admittedly chaotic times with whatever your goals of health are or will be intact, so that you don't deviate if you are currently on something that was helping you with your weight, or maybe you're trying to maintain, or maybe you're simply just trying to eat healthier and have some sort of decorum of structure through the, it's a bit crazy. I don't know if you noticed, it's a bit crazy out there. So I am going to be giving you 8 tips on how to take control of your health right now and avoid gaining those COVID-15, as they're calling it. But first, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about what emotional eating is. What is it exactly? We throw that word around, but let's dive into what that is exactly. So let's backtrack. Because I believe, honestly, that we were taught to be emotional eaters from a very young age. And, where I came up with that theory is, think about it, right? When we were a young kid and we fell and hurt ourselves, our mother gave us a lollipop. And when we did really well in school and we were celebrating finishing up, some goal that we met, our teachers threw a party. And I don't know if you guys remember, I might be dating myself here, but now the doctors give out stickers when you get a shot or something like that. But back in the days, I remember them giving out dum-dums. And, I'll prove my theory here. If you think about it, when I say the word birthday party, what do you think of? You probably thought cake, right? And when I say hard day at work, many of you are thinking glass of wine. And when I say movie theater, you immediately thought popcorn. So in my research and having talked to many thousands of people, I firmly believe that emotional eating is so far ingrained in our psyche that it's likely all your body and brain knows. The problem is with emotional eating, it has been taught to us on a social level, but scientifically, food is addictive. So high fat, high sugar, artificial flavors, they all trigger the same pleasure centers of the brain that drugs do. And what that does is it releases dopamine and serotonin. So because it feels good, we go back for more and more and more. So unlike other addictions that can be completely cut off if the person's looking to recover, right? So an alcoholic can choose with help to never drink again. A drug addict can choose with help to never take their drug of choice again. But we can't stop eating. You have to eat to stay alive. So what you need to do, and what we all need to do, is learn to eat the right things. And for, eating for the right reasons. So the thing is that now that this has been taught to you socially, chocolate has become your go-to every time you feel stressed. And you drink after a long day of homeschool parenting. And you gorge on French fries every time your boss upsets you. And no one stops you. You can talk about it on social media. You can send out your overeating memes. You can laugh about it. You can, even post pictures of yourself doing it. And no one's going to stop you because they're probably going to join you. Remember, the food industry thrives on you being a food addict, and they will encourage it, right? We got emails from all sorts of ice cream places and, a bunch of restaurants saying, hey, now that you're stuck at home, we're going to be delivering and this is our, our discount. And it's like the food industry wants you and needs you to continue being addicted to their product, right? So have you seen the memes about gaining weight? People are like, okay, I'm either going to come out, super fit or 50 pounds overweight. There is no in between. If you haven't seen the meme yet, you will. They are circulating. So, what that proves is that no one bats an eyelash about this, about emotional eating, about, really being addicted to food and using this stressful time to eat and bake and drink wine, because honestly, everybody's doing it. Everybody accepts it. Everybody has their own emotional eating habits to some level, right? Now, where does it come from? We're not going to dive deep into that, but, it can come from habit. It can come from childhood trauma. It can come from something learned, or it can be an actual addiction, or sometimes all of the above. So now you're thinking, okay, but honestly, Rae, what's so bad about drinking a glass of wine after a long day, or having some chocolate every time, you get stressed out? And I hear you, but can we put this into perspective for just a second? Okay. If your friend called you up now and was like, hey dude, like, I had a really hard day at work, or I'm really stressed out about A, B, and C, or whatever's going on. And I was just wondering if you'd want to go snort some Coke with me. You'd be like, I'm sorry, what? Right? You'd be completely horrified, most likely. And you'd probably try to get your friend some help and wonder what in the world is going on, right? That would throw you way off. But turn the tables. If your friend said, hey, I had a really bad day at work, would you like to go get drunk and overeat Chinese food? You'd probably be a good friend and meet them at the bar, right? Because that addiction is socially acceptable. Getting the dopamine hit from food is a celebrated, socially acceptable addiction. The problem is that excess eating can turn into obesity, which, not making any scientific claims here, but we all know that obesity leads to issues like type 2 diabetes, heart-related diseases, high blood pressure, low self-esteem, all valid concerns amongst other things, correct? So this might sound extreme, but I believe if people viewed sugar the same way they viewed heroin, the world would be a totally different place. So now you know. But what can you do about it? So I'm not going to combat the big emotional eating monster in the room right now, but I am going to present 8 ideas to you that you can mull over, and it may help you through this next month or more of quarantine while you are stuck in the house, feeling all the feelings and experiencing all the world stressors. But this can help you stay focused on healthy eating habits. Does that sound good? Okay, and I'm just going to pause and let you know that if you want to use the Q&A little box on the bottom of your screen, you can, leave your questions there. I'll be happy to run through them at the end. And you are more than welcome to use the chat and leave your comments and thoughts below as well. So let's start with number 1. Number 1 is understand that emotional eating is a sign that your current coping mechanisms are reacting to stressors. And this is all you know right now. So if you binge ate last night, I don't want you to blame yourself and turn to guilt, because the guilty feelings will lead to more binge eating, right? This is not about a lack of self-control. This is about asking yourself, what feelings are you currently feeling? And then learning to create new coping mechanisms that don't sabotage your health. So what is your feeling trying to tell you? And what other tools do you have in your emotional toolbox that can support you through it without turning to food? So name the feeling, right? That's the first thing. Name the feeling. Stop and think about it. Is it fear? Is it stress? Is it lack of sleep? Is it financial worry? What is the feeling? And then ask yourself, is food going to fix it? And the answer is always no. Unless the feeling is hunger. If you're actually hungry, it's time to eat, right? That's not something that you should be suppressing. But if the feeling is an emotional feeling, the answer is no. Food will not fix it. So you want to take these moments to pause and challenge yourself and not quickly react and fall prey to short-term satisfactions like a dopamine hit that will backtrack you from everything you have achieved in your health until now. The goal, really simply, is to find other ways to make yourself feel safe because honestly, food is just a distraction, not a solution. So, number 2, a really good thing you can do right now is to set yourself up for success. So, being that the stores and the restaurants and the ice cream shops and all that are not easily accessible right now. Some are closed, some are delivering, some you can only go in 10 at a time, whatever it is. Don't bring it in the house. Do not bring trigger foods into the house. Don't buy it. Don't have it. Don't let someone drop it off. Don't bake it. Don't create it. You see, the less it's around you, the less self-control you need to use during this highly emotionally charged time. Number 3, write down your whys. You need to know exactly why whatever goal you're going after is important to you. Why do you want to be healthy? Why do you want to maintain your current weight? Why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to lower your blood pressure? Why do you want to fit into a smaller size clothes? Why do you want to run a 5K? Like, what do you want and why do you want it? And most importantly, what are you willing to do to get there, right? It's very nice to want things, but if you're not willing to do the work, it really doesn't matter. So I want you to make a list of things, but you don't want them to be a list of things you don't want to be, right? So saying things like, I don't want to be a size such and such. I don't want to weigh such and such. I don't want to feel such and such is not a list that you're going to want to see very often. It reminds you of all the things that you don't want to be, and that's not an exciting, happy reminder. So you want this list to be a bunch of positive things. I want to feel a certain way. I want to weigh a certain amount. I want to be my healthiest me. And then why? I want to be around for a very long time. I want to have more energy, right? Like all the positive things that you want to achieve or maintain or have or any of it, right? This list is yours. There is no right or wrong. There is no wrong answer. There is no way to mess this up. This is your list. This is your truth, right? No one can argue with your truth. So you make this list and then you screenshot it and you put it on the background of your phone and you print it out and you put it on your bathroom mirror and you put it on your fridge and you just put it in places where you're going to see it every single day. And you want to make it super obvious and real to your brain that this is something you want. You want this to be so strong that if you do something that will prevent you from achieving those goals, your why will slap you in the face and encourage you to stop, right? Because the more you think about the things that you want to achieve, the less likely you are to do the things that will stop you from achieving them. Does that make sense? So what we're going to do today when we get off this call is we're going to create those lists and we're going to write them down and you can keep adding to them. This is a fluid, ever-changing list and you can add to it or take off of it as necessary. Number 4, understand this. Human beings are a lot more motivated to hold on to what they already have than to go after something that is new. So this is why people oscillate so much before starting a new diet or making change or joining the gym or committing to something, right? But people who already made that decision and lost all their weight, they don't hesitate as much to do the things that they need to do to maintain that healthy place that they're already in. So let me say that in plain English. To go after a certain goal is a lot harder than it is to maintain that goal once you've already achieved it, right? So if you're considering doing something to lose weight or get healthy or make change in your life right now, do not wait. There is never going to be a perfect time to make change in your life. There is never going to be that exact amazing day to get started. And as you know, I talk to thousands of people and I have heard a lot of excuses because that's what they are. And I hate to put that out there because people are going to be like, no, that's a very real reason. And I'm like, it is to you. It is a real reason to you. But other people view that as a reason to get started, right? Your why can also not be your why not. They can't be both. So I hear a lot of like, oh, I'll start after the holidays. Oh, I'll start after my birthday. Call me after my dog's birthday. Let's get started after my cruise. Oh, you know what? Work is so crazy right now. I can't focus on it. You know, when the virus is gone, then we can talk about it. No, the time is now. And if the time is not now, it's never going to be, right? So you have to make that decision that it doesn't matter what's going on with your life, but you have to make the change right now. The time is today. Because if you don't do it today, you're also not going to do it tomorrow. And so you need to confront the thing so it can become yours not to lose instead of yours that you're trying to get. Got it? Today's your day. Number 5, let's talk some basic science to you, okay? I'm going to encourage you, as I encourage my clients, to eat 6 times a day. We eat every 2.5 to 3 hours. Why? Well, this will keep your blood sugar stable. And that way you're not waiting all morning to eat because you're in meetings, so you starve, right? You wake up with low blood sugar and now you didn't eat anything. So by the time 2 p.m. rolls around, you're absolutely shaky and starving and can't make a consciously good decision because your body is just like, for the love of God, can you put something in me, please? I am so hungry and just done. And so you grab the first thing you see, which might be potato chips or cake or cookies, the thing that your body knows will get your blood sugar up immediately. But when you run through those carbs, your blood sugar is going to drop again. And then you get into that cycle of constantly needing to eat the thing that's going to get your blood sugar up because you're constantly dropping. What you want to do is to keep your blood sugar stable so that you're just eating throughout the day. You're able to make good decisions. You're able to put the right things in your body. And that way you'll also learn what real hunger feels like. There is a difference between the gradual feeling of being hungry and the sudden onset of emotional hunger. And you will learn the difference. When you're not really hungry, you will feel emotionally hungry. And the goal is to not feed that part of your brain. Your body doesn't need it, and your brain can learn to feed itself with other things. So recognize what that feels like. Drink your water. Stay hydrated. Get movement in your life. Go up the stairs. Run in place. Do some jumping jacks. Stay off the news channels. You know that your emotional health is a big player in your physical health. You don't need that extra stress on your body. You want to try to stay as positive as you can with your mindset, despite all the crazy that's going on. So our lives have been completely turned upside down right now, right? Admittedly so. But what can you do to create a sense of stability for yourself? Well, maybe it's FaceTiming your friends, focusing on the good parts of working from home, watching some funny TikToks, going outside on your front lawn, taking some deep breaths. The point is, what you focus on grows and what you starve dies. I don't watch the news. Is it all still happening? Yes. Do I have to know about every move that the president makes? No. It doesn't affect my daily life in a way that I have to be fully aware of it at all times, because having stress in your body creates negative hormones, right? High cortisol levels, it stresses out your adrenals, which can cause hunger and lack of sleep. And stress is not good for your body physically. Number 6, get support in your goals. Don't do this alone, ever. You can hire a coach like me. You can tell a friend what you want to achieve. You can enlist your family to support you. But it's important that you tell them why it's important to you, because your goals are your goals. Remember, no one can argue with your truth. And if someone doesn't like what you're doing, they're not someone who's going to support you. So you want to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with good, positive people who know what it is that you want to achieve, who know why it's important for you to achieve it, and will support you in that. Meaning, you want to avoid the food pushers. You know those people that don't like that you're doing something good for yourself because it reminds them that they're not doing it, so that when you say, oh yeah, dude, I'm not drinking right now, they're like, oh my God, why can't you just have one drink? What do you mean you're not eating carbs? What do you mean you're not having that? Why can't you just have one slice? It's not a big deal. It's going to ruin your whole diet. You know those people? Those are not people you want to surround yourself with. Now, if you're stuck in quarantine with them, I mean, that does pose as a little bit of a problem. But, when there's a will, there's a way. Respect yourself enough to have boundaries and to surround yourself with people who support you in seeing this goal through to the end. Number 7, educate yourself. Listen to a health podcast. Read a book about your body. Watch a video that explains what sugar does to your brain. Understand how what you do to your body affects you. Respect how your body works and what it needs to do and eat and achieve to be in optimal health. See, once you understand it, it will make it easier for you to do the right things and allow your body to heal and work well. Because applied knowledge is power and will fuel action. And a really good place to find all this education is thepowerentrepreneur.com, because they're going to be releasing a lot more information that is going to help you understand a whole bunch of different things. Number 1, it will keep you distracted from the kitchen, right? The answer is not in the fridge. Number 2, it will help you feel empowered in different areas of your life. And you really never know, at the end of all this, what are you going to come out knowing? What will you have come out of this achieving? Instead of this being just a waste of time sitting on the couch trying to save the world, well, what if you gave yourself some more applied knowledge? What if you came out more powerful than you went in? What a thought, right? And then lastly, number 8, be kind to yourself. Some of the stuff that you're struggling with goes all the way back to childhood trauma or learned behavior. And I know it does for me, right? Control or lack of control back then may shape your eating habits now. Remember, what is our story? Where do we come from? That is something you're going to want to dive really deep into, because what you do right now is shaped by what happened to you back then. And you can't fight the demons and change the things before knowing what needs to be healed in your past. So don't beat yourself up. Your mind hears everything you say and think, and it will act according to your subconscious thoughts and beliefs until you tell it otherwise. So start to get in touch with that inner voice that you have. Begin to heal from the inside out. Ask yourself, how can I be kinder and more forgiving to myself? How can I be my own caretaker? And instead of feeding my emotions Hershey Kisses, can I give myself salad and protein, because that is what I really need on a cellular level? That is how I feel the best, how I operate the best. I can be my best me when I'm putting the right things into my digestive system. Because it all boils down to this. You want to respect yourself enough to want to take good care of your body, even when the world is a scary place to live in right now. See, the point is, food is not good or bad. You are not broken. You don't need to be fixed. You are not running on self-control. You are operating out of health and and belief systems. So you want to tap into that. You want to focus on feeling the feeling and then doing another action. So instead of feeling stressed and eating cake, you want to feel stressed and listen to music. See, I can't remove what's going on in the world. I can't tell you not to feel stressed. I can't tell you that I have all the answers, because I don't. We're all going through things right now. And that's what's really kind of bonding with that, is we all get it. We're all in this together, right? And I've been working with someone who told me we are not unique or special. Well, we are not unique, but we are special. We are not special, but we are unique. Meaning we've all had our own experiences. We've all gone through life differently. But in fact, there are lots of other people out there who have gone through very similar things. So this is not a unique issue, but it's special to you. And what can you do to create a new pathway in your brain so you begin to do healing behaviors when you feel stressed instead of harmful ones? And this, in time, will lead to healthier habits. This will make it easy or easier for you to do the right things and act the right way that are in congruency with your goals instead of self-sabotaging, because over time, you literally create new pathways in your brain. For example, when someone experiences trauma or experiences like, oh, I fell, now I get candy. Oh, I'm sad, now I eat chocolate. Oh, I'm happy, or it's my birthday, now I get cake, right? That creates a pathway in your brain. So when you try to change that, understand that you are actually working against what your body knows, and you need to teach your body something new. So when you feel stress and you start to listen to music, or when you feel stressed and you call your therapist, or when you feel, worried and you eat a healthy meal, you will teach your body and your brain, this is what we now do. I know what we used to do. I know it's what we used to know, but we don't do that anymore. Now we do something new. And you will literally scientifically create new pathways in your brain so you don't have to fight yourself for the rest of your life, right? You can create a life where it's easier for you to stay in that path of the goal that you want to achieve. So, like I said before, the times we live in right now are tumultuous times. They're crazy times, and I don't know enough about it to say more than this. All I know right now is the only thing you can control is the food you put into your body, what you drink, and the movement you do, right? What exercise you bring into your daily life. So to be honest, I don't know if there was ever a time before that health was more prevalent on people's minds than it is right now. And I can't make any medical claims, but I do know in the research I've been doing and the things I've been reading and the stuff that's been coming out from different doctors and scientists, that people who don't have a lot of the issues that obesity creates are doing better and recovering, right? I can't say more than that because I don't have any letters after my name other than my certification. So I'll stop there. Point is, do your own research and see. A lot of these obesity related issues are a lot more dangerous than people care to admit, right? So if you want to just lose some weight to look good, that is a perfectly valid reason. I get told a lot, I don't want to be vain, but hey, if that's what's important to you, then that's what's important to you. But the truth is that when you do get to be your healthiest you're going to be able to move better. You'll see that there's a lot less pressure on your body. You're feeling lighter in both emotion and physically, right? There's a lot of nice little side effects that come along with getting yourself to be your healthiest you. So it very much matters. And you are worth creating good habits. And you are deserving of other forms of self-care. And lastly, I believe in you. And I really, really believe that you can do this if you want to do it. So I just want to thank Jacob and Jake for having me on today, talking about something that I'm very passionate about. I hope that it helps you wherever you are off to in life and wherever these paths take you. I honestly pray that we all are safe, our families are safe, the people around us are safe, and that, this passes through and we can come out better, kinder, more empathetic, and healthier people at the end. So I see that there are no Q&A questions. I believe I was pretty clear. If there are any questions, would you like to leave them there? Would you like to, just make some comments? I'm happy to stay on for a couple more minutes and answer them. And if not, just share this with your friends. It is alive on Facebook. There will be a recording as well. But I highly encourage you to continue tapping into the knowledge that the Power Entrepreneur is going to be releasing weekly, if not daily, to help you really just become your best you in all areas of your life. So Jessica has a question. How do people get started on their health journey? Well, particularly if you're wanting to work with me, you can absolutely reach out. I'm on Instagram at Lloyds with an S Health, LLOYDSHEALTH. I am on Facebook, Rae Lloyd. I have a podcast as well called All the Things. And if that's not the right path for you, well, hey, find it, right? What works for you? What rings true for you? What plan can you do? Because the truth is that there's millions of ways out there to lose weight. You're not looking for a weight loss plan, guys. You're looking for a lifestyle change. This is not something we do until the wagon blows up and we're back to old habits, right? The idea is to create new habits and stick with them. So whatever speaks to you, whoever that person is, I highly suggest you hire someone to help you, or join a plan, join a group, do something, because we're not meant to do this alone. I always tell people, if you could do this alone, you would have already, right? And that is why I failed for 10 years to get healthy until I finally hired a health coach and was like, please help me. I need help, right? Alrighty, well, it was my honor and pleasure to spend this time with you. I hope that this impacted you well. And I just appreciate you guys, and I wish you luck in your health journey. Bye.